tuned. We will start the Boss Health Matters podcast shortly. Please go and like, share, and subscribe to help us reach more people. If you have any questions or answer, you can text or call 1-855-NOW-BOSS, 1-855-669-2677.
Opening up the phone lines. Let's see who's on the other end.
Thank you for calling. Please hold for the next available representative.
Opening up the phone lines. Let's see who's on the other end.
Thank you for calling. Please hold for the next available representative.
Stay tuned. We will start the Boss Health Matters podcast shortly. Please go and like, share, and subscribe to help us reach more people. If you have any questions or answer, you can text or call 1-855-NOW-BOSS, 1-855-669-2677.
This is the Boss Health Matters podcast, where the body is the boardroom, the soul runs the company, and the divine is the CEO. We don't guess, we detect and correct. You're tuned into the Boss Health Matters podcast. Hey there, beloved. It's Gregory Hall, your host, the Quantum Health Boss. If you didn't know, the body is the boardroom, and the soul runs the company, and the divine should be your CEO. If we're not managing our body, somebody else will, and we'll get billed for it. Boss Health Matters was made for people who have been lied to, brushed off, and told just to live with it. If the divine aligned you to hear this, you're not here by accident. Why? Because this is the space where confused minds get clarity and excuses come to die. We don't just guess about health, we detect and correct. Stop running to medicine when what's needed is that you gotta fire the current management, which is you, and hire soul management, which is God and Jesus. We live right here now. Why? Because your voice matters. So if you don't know, Boss Health Matters is a call-in show. If you're catching us live, the phone number is 1-855-NOW-BOSS. That's 1-855-669-2677. Today, we have a guest on here. It's a pre-Movember show, but we have Chontson Jennings here, and he's going to bless us with his version of purpose over procrastination, the check engine light for men. So let's bring him on and say hello. Hey, Chontson, how are you?
How's it going, man? Thank you again for having me. And I'm super excited to add some value and insight to your audience. So I'm looking forward to whoever calls in. Let's have some fun, man.
Definitely. And I know you're streaming it out on your platform too. So I invite your listeners. Thank you for watching. I'm the Quantum Health Boss, and we're going to be here just diving into a little bit of this pre-Movember, but we want to get into Chonston's psyche. Why? Because I think he's got the secret sauce that we need to incorporate. So let's see here. While talking purpose and performance and prevention, before burnout or breakdown, let's get into the questions for Chontson so we can enlighten ourselves here. Bear with me. I'm using a new teleprompter.
No, you're good, brother. Do your thing.
That I'm using. All right. So when did you first realize that purpose wasn't something we just chased, it was something we maintained?
That's a loaded question. Dang. First one. So for me, I'll give you some context so the content makes sense. About 3 years ago, I was an NBA basketball trainer and skill development coach. I was working with Aaron Gordon and Nikola Vucevic and all these high achievers in the basketball world, and also at the lower end, which is the kindergarten all the way up, right? I loved it because that was my first love in the beginning. I was a basketball player at first, and then I turned to a coach. When I was preparing for college, I ended up breaking my foot, and I felt like God was redirecting me in a different place. Because once I healed my foot, I kind of jumped in early, and I tried to get back into shape, tried to play basketball a little bit more, but then something wasn't right. I ended up getting 2 jobs at the time after deciding not to pursue basketball collegiately. Um, And then I ended up getting 2 jobs, and then miraculously, they both let me go within the same week, and I found that very interesting too. You said something very interesting in the beginning of this intro. You said that if you are here, you're not here for, no reason, you're here for a reason. You're here for divine alignment, I like to call it, divine timing, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I used to have a victim mindset where everything had was happening to me rather than for me. And I've heard that cliche, but there's a true essence to that saying. But fast forward after I lost my job, I started doing basketball training. I loved it. I loved it more so for the people, the aspect of still wanting to be a part of the basketball world. And after that, it was one of those things that I was like, all right, this is becoming more repetitive. So fast forward almost 7 years after that, I was like, this ain't it. And then doors start to shut, things start to be prevalent of me having to be directed. So I stepped outside of it. It was a hard decision because it was something that I was used to for a very, very long time. And because of that, it opened my eyes to understand who I was for the first time. I was young when I started being a coach. I did very well so far. Like I was the youngest high school varsity basketball coach at one point in Florida, Orlando. That was where I reside. But um, when I was in that process of rediscovering who I was, or at least understanding who I was, a couple things came to mind. A couple of scenarios happened for me to realize that I had to be in rediscovery mode. Um, because uh, I believe in Jesus Christ, and it seems like this platform is about Jesus Christ and God, which I love and I find so much synergy and alignment in. What I realize is that most people think that purpose is something that is extrinsic, something that you achieve, the accolades that you gain, the things that you get, the people that you win over. But in reality, it's just the byproduct of the work that you put in, right? Which is something that is frivolous. Because if you lose those things, what tend to happen is if you connect your identity to those things that you receive, then if you lose those things, then your identity is shot. So I quickly realized that outside of understanding that basketball wasn't my identity anymore. So fast forward, I started this platform called the Luminary Panel, and we connect the aspiring entrepreneurs to the inspiring entrepreneur story, and by becoming an immediate resource. And the reason why I started that is because one, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and also I needed the guidance to do so, but I didn't have that in the beginning, right? All I knew was basketball. All I knew was things that I saw and what I was already good at. But I knew that there's more in there in the tank for me. So what I did was I created this platform to learn, but also understand that people may be in my similar situation of wanting to be an entrepreneur, but don't understand how to be one. But what I did was I switched the narrative behind like, what did you have to earn to do this? Or what did you have to become to do this? It was more so, what did you have to go through to become who you are today? And inevitably, how did that help you as an entrepreneur become successful as you are now? Right. So because of that, that that scenario helped me realize the more I continued to get to know these people, I kind of found this thing that people are more in tune with their purpose when they're doing things that fulfills them. And what do I mean by fulfillment? Yes, the things that you can gain are cool. Yes, the things that you can, or the people that you can meet are cool. But in reality, if you're not doing something that fulfills you in a space where it wakes you up without an alarm, it wakes you up without you having to force yourself to get up, you're happy without understanding. In the midst of you not understanding when your next paycheck is going to come, then you're within your purpose, right?
Yeah.
And I mentioned God earlier, and because I've used this term rediscover intentionally because I believe that if we were born in the image of God, that means that we had meaning, we already had purpose, we already
Yeah.
had a guidebook, we already had a blueprint for us. But sometimes we stray away, and because of the nature of how everything happened in the beginning, which is normal, right? To your point earlier, you mentioned that there was a plan for us, right? And I truly, truly believe that. But sometimes it takes us being stripped away, being humbled, being in a space of humility to really, truly appreciate and be grateful for what is already in us. And that actually teaches us to look within, to be more in tune with God so we can be led by the Spirit, which is called alignment, right? And I could stop there, but I think what I want our audience to understand is that purpose is a lot closer than we think. Purpose is not something that you chase. Purpose is something that you don't have to second guess. It's just something that's already in you. But because the noise is so loud, because the distractions are so quick, the gratification is so instant, we miss the voice that's already talking to us. And that's where people get misconstrued.
Wow, man, that was really power packed, and thank you for filling in. I kind of lost the power there and came back on, but
How you good, brother?
I really want to dive into this a little bit, right? Because I think a lot of men are maybe missing what their check engine light really looks like. And as
Yeah.
you stated that most of the time our check engine light comes on when, everything starts to feel like a burden
Mhm.
and it's kind of hard to get through.
Yeah.
But I guess the question would be, because you already answered what moment, you started to help, make your process and help other people. But I guess the next question would be, how do you let them realize that that check engine light is on,
Mhm.
and the answer really lies with the creator?
That's so good. That's a fantastic question. Well, let's look at it from a different perspective. Okay. So if you think about men as a whole, we're taught to be strong, we're taught to be alpha, we're taught to be in control, we're taught to be masculine, right? I like to talk about the feminine as well. And when we hear feminine, we think about woman, we think about dainty, we think about emotional, but we don't look at it in a positive light. There's this thing called divine masculinity. And what it is pretty much being able to do the dance between the feminine and the masculine. And if you're able to dance between the two without it being outweighed by the other, what tends to happen is you find harmony, you find synergy, you find alignment, you find flow. If you think about it, men are taught not to share their emotions. But now we're in a day and age where it's becoming more normalized, which is fantastic. And the reason why I say it's fantastic is because now men are being able to tap into a space that they're not used to, but also because they're not used to, it's uncomfortable. And through that uncomfort, they're learning how to use that feminine energy or their emotional energy to help other people through their mask and their issues as well. Right. That's why I feel like I'm one of a really good coach because I know how to understand them from a masculine perspective and also a feminine perspective, right? I understand how to deal with a woman because they have masculine tendencies and they are naturally supposed to be feminine as well. So, to answer the question, how do I help them understand it? The biggest thing for me is that one, let's get to the root of why you feel this way, right? Because again, we don't, as men, we don't like to vocalize our emotions, or we usually hold them in. And I'm sure, actually, I just did a podcast. Think it was last month, and that was like some suicidal awareness month. And they said about 59% of men are the percentage of suicide, and most of it comes from because they try to bottle everything in, and because
Yeah.
of that, they explode later on, right? Because there's no out. But in reality, what I found, at least in me, because I've had some dark times where I was bouncing from hotel to hotel, and I had a baby girl, and I was homeless for a bit,
Yeah.
and that caused me to like think about myself as less than, which created insecurities, right? And because of that, I had to say, hey, well, you understand that you have a bigger, uh, you have someone looking over you, and it's not you. And the moment you relinquish the control, you allow God to put you in a space where he wanted you to go in the first place. But I'm making this all make sense. How do I make people understand, or men understand, that that check light is happening? So I asked them some specific questions. I say, how does it feel right now? Right? Are you able to articulate how it feels? Emotional intelligence. Do you have someone that you can talk about those things to? Are your patterns, are your sequences different because you're in this funk or you're in this mood? How's your energy towards the people that you love? Are you are you closing yourself off to be in control of the situation? Or are you opening yourself to abundance to open up? And one of the biggest things that men do is that, I'll just say, humankind, or uh the human race as a whole, we're either too far in the future or we're too far back in the past. We're never present.
Yeah.
God tells us to handle our daily bread, which means be present.
Yeah.
Don't worry about tomorrow because it has its own troubles. And yesterday was gone. So what does that mean? It's telling us to be here.
Yeah.
And the moment we step outside of that here, what tends to happen is we either get anxious, we get depressed, we get frustrated, we feel like we're not enough. But also, if we think about the past, we have those same tendencies, but we're living through the past to make our present feel like we're not going anywhere. So it
Yeah.
becomes a cycle if you don't, because you're wanting control. You want to be able to be like, oh, this is why I feel this way. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Oh, I'm so excited about the future. This is happening. This is about to happen. This is about to happen. But they're missing out on opportunities that's supposed to get them a lot closer to what they want, or what
Yeah.
God wants for them. Because it's, again, like I said, the instant gratification is too loud now. The noises are too loud now, right? So hopefully that answers the question, because I was all over the place.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna reel you in just a little bit. So I'm gonna switch
okay,
up the background,
okay,
and we're gonna go into some fire rounds here.
let's do it.
And where are you? Okay, we'll go with this background. So at the top, uh, corners, left or right, you're gonna see some numbers.
Okay,
So basically, we're gonna try to keep the answers to 1 minute,
all right, let's do it.
right? So a little bit fire it up and get a little bit more concise. But I want to talk on this topic just a little bit. So you did talk about anxiety and depression, but every man has warning lights: stress,
Mhm.
anxiety, the quiet anxiety. But we keep on driving. How do we turn to God and deal with it and stay grounded when 79% of men are suicides, 1 in 8 face prostate cancer, and heart disease is still number one killer in men, and
Yeah,
60% of us are not getting annual checkups.
yeah. So the first thing is, you got to be brutally honest about how you feel. You got to be brutally honest about why you feel these things. And the reason why I say that is because when we have these issues, and when we're having these anxiety thoughts, or we feel like we have to hold everything in, everything, guess what else is being held accountable? Our organs. our body, our heart, our prostate, everything that you just named, because it's holding the stress of you not releasing the thing that's not supposed to be within, because it doesn't align with what God called you to do, right? So I think you got to be brutally honest. You also got to find some wise counsel. And also, you got to confess it even on your alone time, right? Even if it's not to God, you got to be able to say it or even write it out and being able to speak it, because now it's released into the atmosphere. And then God is going to encounter you in a way that it connects with you, maybe through a friend, maybe through a pastor. But those are my three things I believe is the most important.
So men, we were talking about ignoring their dashboard, right? And we're trying to
Mhm.
give them an avenue, to get some help. But when they're avoiding their own dashboard, how is it affecting their family and their employment?
Yeah. It's affecting them because one, if they are considered the source, the leader, the one that's supposed to be in charge, they're being looked at as a superhero. And if the superhero doesn't, if they don't have their superpowers, then they're useless, because their identity is with unrealistic thoughts or patterns, right? So think about this. If let's say you're Superman, and I have kryptonite in my hand and I'm about to shake your hand with the kryptonite, will you be as powerful as you're supposed to be? No,
Probably not. Yeah.
probably not. Think about kryptonite being you saying or you believing that you can't talk to anybody, believing that you can't connect with people because you're a man, saying that you can't cry, saying that you can't go to small groups of people and want to read the Bible, and you think that you're in control, right? And being able to be honest with somebody that you love, which is, let's say, your wife that will support you if she truly loves you.
Yeah.
And then you got to get connected to the right people that's going to speak life into you, that sees your potential more than they see your present. That's the biggest thing. Because now think about it. Like when Jesus had the disciples, he was speaking life into their future, but they were still stuck in their present or in their past. That's why he changed their names. That's why he changed their identity, right? Because he saw what they were supposed to be, but they didn't see it yet until he was gone.
That's
Does that
that's
make
that's a
sense?
that's a pretty big enlightenment, that association,
Yeah.
you
So
associating with the bad past is not going to bring you a brighter future.
yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. I'm
If
actually writing this book called The Proximity of Purpose.
oh
You are closer than you think, right? And it talks exactly what you just said. It's what you align yourself to, what you say, what you set boundaries around. Because men don't set enough boundaries either. They think that, oh, I'm in control, I got it, because they're operating out of ego, right?
yeah,
But being in proximity means that you're in close range of what's already yours. You just got to recognize and be aware of those things within yourself. Get
yeah,
extremely clear on what you want so that you can be able to vocalize these things rather than waiting to say, oh, you made me feel mad or da 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 da, right? So
yeah.
I like that word that you use for sure.
Well, definitely. Being in the construction industry, there's a lot of water cooler talk, and you can find yourself in a conversation that totally moves away from the divine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to remind everybody this is a live show. So if you do have a call for Chontson or myself, the number is 1-855 now boss. That's 1-855-669-2677. And we'd love to take your questions live. We're waiting for you. And if you do catch it on the replay, please send in your questions for Chontson. He's got a book coming out. I'm pretty sure he's ready for you to pre-order. And I do have a book coming out too, but I'm not going to talk about
Hey.
it today.
Oh
Um, it's, all,
man.
it's all about Chontson, but I am already an author, and I'm pretty sure he's probably an author too. But
No, this would be my first one, man.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and I can't wait
Thanks,
to read
brother.
it.
You too.
But
You too,
I
man.
think we need to really answer this question, right?
Mhm.
Because fear and pride are just not programming, Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first small tune up that we recommend when man finally decides to act, that he needs to release those things.
Mm-hmm.
How is your program help to identify where those are and release them?
I'll tell you a quick story. I had a client of mine, and he's from a Chinese descent. And when he was younger, you know, Chinese descents, they have a very strict rule when it comes to scholastics. If they don't do well in school, they're shunned or they get in trouble, and their parents are very strict around it. But long story short, him and I got into conversation. I was like, "Yo, why do you love like serving people? Why is that so important to you?" Again, going back to living in your past, right? And he was like, when I remember this time when I was younger, I felt like I wasn't enough. And I said, "Tell me more about that." He said, "When I was younger, I remember I came back to the house with a 98 percent on my math test, and uh, I showed my mom. I was super excited. I was studying so hard; it was difficult, and I was excited to pass with a 98%. And she said, "Why didn't you get 100? Were you not paying attention? What?" And he fully felt not seen anymore. And the reason is because one, when as men, when we feel like we're doing enough, or we don't feel like we're appreciated, we automatically feel like we're not adequate to do much. We actually shut down more
Yeah.
because it's for us, if we're in an ego or pride, right? We want to be seen as the hero because again, we're taught and programmed to be masculine. We got to be in control. We got to be in lead, right? But true masculinity or true leadership is when you're allowed to be humble enough. I'll use Jesus' analogy, humble enough to wash the feet. Jesus himself got down, and right before he was about to be crucified, he was the one to wash people's feet. And that's when the alabaster oil came, and the young lady poured out her last bit of the oil, and she used her hair to wipe Jesus's feet. I say that to say, men, it is okay to feel. It's okay to vocalize these things. And the reason why I say that is because the more we are clinging to fear, it's the complete opposite of what our DNA is. We're told to conquer. We're more than conquerors. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right? Which means there's an abundance of opportunities to win, but the opposite means that you're afraid of the unknown, which means you're not trusting in something that's bigger than you. You're trusting yourself, and yourself is already in the past or you're already in the future,
Yeah.
right? God is infinite, right?
100%.
So, yeah, I know that
You
was a little
know,
bit longer.
I definitely relate for what you're saying. Like I was on invited to a podcast the other day, and I've told my story a few times and on stage or whatever, but I don't know what it was. If I was at the gym I was at the gym when I did the podcast, and it was the same gym where I worked out worked out really hard, and I couldn't work for 9 days, and that's how my story went. But I was like crying through the whole testimony.
Wow.
And it wasn't like planned or anything, but I just felt a release. I I just felt the release of energy, a release of burden, a release of joy that I could praise God for what has happened to me,
Yeah.
and that I'm able to follow his will and bring it on to other people. To tell you the truth, Chonston, it would be much easier for me to not be a health practitioner and not help anybody.
Mhm.
Why? I would have a lot more time, I have a lot more money to take care of myself.
Mhm.
you know, and I
Yeah.
find myself sometimes, burning too much oil
Yeah.
to serve, and then find myself tired. And the other day, I woke up tired, and somebody looked at me and says, "You know what? You look tired." I felt tired,
Hmm.
but you know what? The first thing that came to my mouth was, "It's not time to sleep yet."
Mm.
When when it's my time to sleep, you'll know. I'll
Yeah.
have a lot of time to sleep, but the Lord has woken me up.
Yeah.
The Lord gave me this moment to fulfill His purpose. So
Yeah.
why would I crawl back underneath the covers
Yeah.
and not pretend, but cry out that I'm tired? He already knows I'm tired,
Yeah.
but He woke me up.
Absolutely.
I
I
know how
think
to handle my strength, but some men just don't know how to redefine their strength.
yeah.
And, you know, we don't want them to be hiding it. We want, them to handle it. And, that's one of the reasons I brought you on. Is there any one tip that you can give that they can put them back into the driver's seat so they can know that they're the boss again?
Yeah. I would say relinquish control of an identity that doesn't serve you. Relinquish the control of an identity that does not serve you. The moment I say this a lot, and this may not, it's going to be like a different perspective to the question, but the moment you say no to something, you say yes to yourself.
Mm,
Men are not saying yes enough to themselves, which is, I understand. Again, we're supposed to lead, we're supposed to protect, we're supposed to provide. But also, God told us to rest. And I'm not saying like just sleep all day. I'm saying being able to do the things that you enjoy doing without feeling guilty that you're not doing something that's supposed to bring in money.
yeah,
Because then, if we think about from an idol perspective, if I'm not honoring the temple that God gave me, then guess what? I'm idolizing something that is, you see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So now what I had to do was, because I understand I was like that too. But then I was like, if I keep on this path of trying to fight through the tiredness, yeah, there's times when I have to, but most times I'm choosing to, I'm gonna get burnt out. I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
fall in love with what I love to do. That's what happened to me for basketball. I was doing
yeah,
something that was super repetitive that I fell in love with it. I found that it was unfulfilling, right? I was doing a disservice for other people. So let me bring that full circle. One tip that I realized is that uh, honor what your gut is telling you too. Your gut is telling you something, and usually that's the Holy Spirit. You're being convicted, and through that conviction, you get the answers that's needed for you to be aligned to what's supposed to be aligned to or connected to,
yeah.
right? So setting boundaries is one, saying no is another, and also understanding that the conviction is not to condemn you, it's to correct you, direct you, right?
Wow. I think you just made a profound enlightenment. And the enlightenment is maintenance isn't weakness.
Hmm.
It actually will bring on wisdom.
Hmm. Maintenance is, I mean, like, think about it. When Jesus was solo, he got most of his downloads in isolation. He got a lot of his downloads in that 40-day fast, right? It's because he removed the noise. He said no to those things for now. He sacrificed those things for now to focus on what God needed from him and what he wanted to do in a moment. He needed the whole blueprint. Think about Moses. He had to go up in isolation to get the downloads. Noah, that he had to be in isolation, right? So isolation isn't bad. Rest isn't bad. It's about your perspective around what is going to do for you. If you think rest is going to be laziness, then you got the wrong idea. God created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh, right? So what that means is go play golf, bro. I would even challenge you to play golf during the middle of the busiest season of your life. It's going to redirect your thinking because now you're going to think like, interesting. I'm able to go play golf. I actually had this epiphany with me and my girlfriend the other day. We just went on vacation and we're both like those by the book people. Like, all right, I got something at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna be there at 8 o'clock. If I then after that I got 8:30. That or that in like real life, right? But then we went on vacation and we didn't set a schedule. We had places that we wanted to go to. But then when we went to those places, we're like, all right, what time is it? Like, and then we kept saying this running joke saying, "We ain't no plans. We ain't got no plans." Right? But what that taught me was the more we try to control something, the more we're in a rush to chase nothing. As
So
men, that is,
powerful that is.
bro. You know that because I see you like, yeah, right,
Hey man, I've chased lots of things. We've bought lots of things, and I can look around and they're not here.
right. I think there's a quote saying, "Here today and gone tomorrow," which means the frivolous things, but something that is everlasting and that is in eternity is your relationship with God and your connection with God, your relationship with someone that knows you before you were even in the womb,
Yeah,
that knows the numbers of your hair, that knows the numbers of the sea, that
yeah,
knows the number of the sand, that knows the number of the stars. And you telling me right now that you're not you're more powerful and you know more than the person that has a plan for you? Which means that like as men, if Jesus had to be humble and we're doing this boastful things, that's one of the deadliest sin.
yeah.
Is pride and boast, right?
Yes,
And because of that, men get in so much trouble and miss out on what is truly meant for them because they're operating out of a boastful state, a prideful state, an ego state. But God told us to be humble. Oh, we got a caller?
no,
No.
it's not a caller for us. No.
Okay. But you see what I'm saying?
I'm trying not to mute it because the last time I muted it,
Yeah.
we missed the callers. But
Uh,
I think it was divine intervention. I don't want to talk about it on this show, but yes, it was a
okay.
divine intervention that was muted.
Okay, good. But yeah, I think we're as men, we're so prideful that we want everything to go our way. But in reality, us being humble is the answer. Uh-oh.
We got a comment here. Keep Christ in your heart with purpose to bridge those times of fatigue.
Oh, that's good. That's so good.
And
Uh,
they said that they definitely love the content and love what you're bringing to the show.
nice, man. Well, it's both of us. I think there's, to your point, divine intervention. I think this is divine timing for sure.
I mean, what you really talked about, it really sits home, and I 100% agree with you. But I think we need to go somewhere. This is our
Okay.
last. This is our last question.
Okay.
How do we lead our families when we're tired ourselves? How do we get that strength to lead our families when we're tired ourselves?
Yeah.
Because we really need to be leaders, and there's times when I'm not a leader to my family and I should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. So the way I like to have conversations, man, and hopefully you picked up on this, is that I'm very controversial, but also a perspective shifter, right? So think about this. Again, we were programmed as men to be the breadwinner, for lack of a better term, be the provider, provision, da da da. But we're also human. Like we're not some robot that's supposed to just act like our emotions don't matter. Because again, God gave us emotions for a reason, right? So when we're tired, that means that we're not being fueled in a certain area, not just fatigue, like not just physical tired. Internally, there's something going on that's not connecting to our purpose. Because if you're within your purpose, guess what happens? You don't even think about being tired.
Yeah.
Like you don't even you think about the next move, and then doors start to open because we call this thing alignment. So if you're in this space of being fatigued, I'm sure maybe you can help me enlighten this or help me understand this. Maybe you're in some areas you're misaligned.
100%, because if that check engine light comes on, I mean, analogy like a car, right? That check engine light comes on, maybe the car might not be driving straight down the road, so you might need it to bring in for an alignment.
Yep. You need an alignment. Maybe you got to check your oil, but you won't know until you take it to a professional that knows about cars. Oh, shoot. You got me preaching now.
Yeah.
I'm about to start preaching, man. You won't know. How do you do that? As a man, don't lead with your penis, lead with prayer. Oh, I'm cooking. Cooking right now. You can't lead with your penis because that's frivolous.
Yeah.
Center every aspect of your life within Christ. Because again, we're just talking about how he knows the numbers of your head and he knows the numbers of sand on the beach. That means he knows how to make sure that you're not tired. He give you strength that surpass all understanding, or peace that surpass all understanding, which means you're anchoring yourself in things that is here today and gone tomorrow. To be fatigued. Sometimes your family may not be meeting the needs and may pick up on those things, right? Being able to be honest with them or your wife, say, hey babe, I'm not feeling it right now. I need your help. I'm really like fatigued. Maybe I need a couple hours to myself. I just need to go take a walk, but I really need this. Can you step in for me? Being vulnerable is a superpower. Like being able to be transparent with your partner and your family is a superpower because now they know how to support you, right? But they also know who you truly are because you've showed up consistently. So that part is already taken care of. So because that part is taken care of, now you can be able to say, hey, I can put my cape down for a couple hours. I just need to go watch the game or something. I just need to go hang out with the boys. And it goes back to what we talked about, finding wise counsel, anchoring yourself in prayer and biblical sound scripture or biblical sound preachers or pastors that you can lock in with, and just being transparent and vulnerable.
You definitely gave some great tips, and you know, this check engine light thing, at the end of the day, you buy a new car. Like I went down to the Volkswagen dealership. I got a new car. It was a new Jetta.
Mhm.
And I've been driving before I had a license. When I was
Yeah.
12, uh, my dad came back from the States. I live in Canada. And he never paid child support. He was driving an 81 Firebird. And I said, that's my car.
Wow.
So I was a very big car guy. I drive a wrecker, tow truck, deliver concrete. So anyways, I went to the dealership, I guess with pride and boastfulness. And I said,
Mhm.
I'm in a rush. Give me the keys so I can go. The man said, I cannot. And I said, I'm in a rush. Let's go. Let's get this done. He said, I cannot. If I give you this car without explaining to you how not to void the warranty from the manufacturer, you're going to be mad at me.
Mhm.
I'm not going to have a good sale. I'm not going to have a repeat sale. This is the instructions from the manufacturer.
Mm.
So he says to me, if I want a new car, let him finish his demonstration. If I don't want the new car, I can come back when I'm ready.
Mm.
So he started to give me the tour of the car, and he started to show me the little VW in the headlight. Now, everybody driving on the road just sees headlight.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I know that the creator's imprint is embossed in that headlight.
Mm.
So if we're not with the same rhythm as the manufacturer, we're going to avoid the warranty.
Mm.
And I think, as one of our guests had just said, it's profound information, even as a woman and a practitioner. Thank you. Because
Wow.
everything goes with the creator. I was in pain
Yeah.
for over 30 years. Yes, the creator helped me, but I wasn't with him then.
Mm.
And everything that I tried to do, I was going back to where I was. And
Mm-hmm.
until I gave myself back to the Lord, because the tools I was using was saying, bro, you can't do this on your own. Go fix your relationship with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Every day was telling me that, Chontson. And I was like, who are you? I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
Until one day I just woke up and I got on my knees and I gave myself back to the Lord and I got rebaptized. And, I do things a lot differently now. But I think the path that he's put me on and seizing me out into the world has helped me to be the connector.
Yeah.
Right. And we really need to connect to more people so we can finish with the work and Jesus comes very soon. But I definitely loved what you brought to the show. And I definitely have to get you back on, maybe as a guest host, co-host, because
Yeah, brother.
you bring it and you filled in when I forgot to make sure the power was on.
Oh no, brother, you're good.
So
Trust me,
you
I get
have
it.
anything that you want to leave your audience and my audience with before I close out?
Yeah. I think well, first off, thank you again for opening the platform for me. Um, I was excited to do the breast cancer event, but I had some unfortunate news that I lost my aunt to cancer that same day. And it was tough on me and my mother because we live in Florida and they live in Illinois. But what I want people to understand after this conversation, not just men but women as well, is that we don't have the true answers. The answers are meant to be rediscovered through the right sources. When you feel off, when you feel like your energy is off, you feel like things aren't working out, is because you're misaligned to what God has for you. Surrender, surrender, surrender. The moment you surrender and say no, the moment you say yes. Once you say no to something, you always say yes to another thing. So the moment you say no to yourself, which is dying to your flesh, you say yes to God and allow Him to move in a way that allows you to be in a space that He already promised you to be in. He said, I give you life. I'm here to give you life and more abundantly. So the moment you decide to take your own life in your own hands, you get limit. You get a limit versus abundance. So I say that to say, just surrender. We ain't got that much more time here anyway. It's time to surrender, people, and love people like God loved the church. Love unconditionally. And that's why you do what you do. And that's why I feel like I do what I do, because we have an unconditional love for people. They want people to be impacted, and that is our way to expanding the kingdom while using our platforms to talk about Jesus and what he's done for us, right? So again, thank you so much, man. This was incredible. I'd love to be your co-host, help you out, or whatever the case is, man. This was incredible. This was fun.
Cool. Definitely, we have go looking for reruns. You can definitely find reruns on the Boss Health Matters podcast, and Boss Health Matters on YouTube. And we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud a little bit. But we're pretty much all over the place. And I do have a couple of episodes to post, but we'll definitely be seeing a lot more episodes coming up soon. Our next show is Sunday at 6 p.m. and we're going live with a cancer survivor that missed the last show, but we're going to be talking about how to deal with skin burns. Wow. But awareness without action is wasted faith. So we don't want to be wasting any faith here. So the divine has designed you not to lead. The divine had designed you to lead, not wait. Manage your body, protect your temple, and live like a boss. I want to say massive thanks to Chontson Jennings for reminding us that you can't drive without purpose on an empty tank. So make sure you subscribe to our podcast, Boss Health Matters. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and we will definitely get to your comments and share it with Chontson. Make sure you hit him up because he needs pre-orders for that new book that's coming out. So until then, stay sharp and stay balanced and stay a boss because we need more leaders.
Do you feel in tune with your body? Nearly 70% of Americans don't. They say the healthcare system isn't meeting their expectations. Why? Modern medicine often focuses on symptoms while innovation is slowed by bureaucracy, outdated systems, and cost. Millions of people are looking for empowering solutions that align with the body, rather than override it to support a longer, more vibrant life. Powerful wellness tools are available to help, but few know they exist. They can accurately allow us to assess and understand our body. Your body is composed of trillions of vibrating cells constantly communicating via subtle frequencies, just like satellite systems, Wi-Fi, and radio waves. These communication signals are part of your natural biofield, but daily exposure to environmental stressors, technology, and emotional pressure can influence those frequencies. This interference may affect how you feel, focus, and function. Supporting your body's natural frequency patterns may help you reconnect with clarity, calm, and balance. The question is, how can you tune into those patterns and learn from them? The answer is in the palm of your hand. Meet AO Scan technology. AO Scan is an advanced wellness program that simply helps support a healthy biofield. Using proprietary algorithms and a library of frequency blueprints, the AO Scan identifies variances and delivers supportive frequencies designed to encourage balance and harmony. What can AO Scan do for you? Here are just a few unique tools inside the system. Let's start with our most popular module, Cephi. Need support with energy, focus, or restful sleep? Cephi, or Subtle Energy Frequency Imprinter, helps you broadcast or imprint subtle frequencies aligned with your personal wellness goals. Choose from thousands of frequency playlists designed to support mental clarity, emotional ease, seasonal transitions, and more. Let's move to another powerful module within the AO Scan, Inner Voice. Your voice reveals more than words. It reflects your current energetic and emotional tone. Inner Voice records a 10-second voice sample and uses sound harmonization to create custom audio tracks that promote emotional awareness and inner calm. These tones incorporate elements like binaural beats, harmonics, and color suggestions for a multi-sensory wellness experience. Listen a few times a day to help cultivate presence, confidence, and emotional clarity. Up next, we have vitals, body systems, and comprehensive scans. These features offer a deeper look at your body's energetic patterns. Using blueprint frequencies, you can explore insights related to common themes such as energy flow, stress response, or physical resilience. Vitals gives a quick snapshot of frequency trends across multiple energetic themes. Body Systems maps frequency patterns associated with different functional systems. Comprehensive explores even more layers of vibrational data tied to organs, bones, and cells, offering expanded insight into your energetic profile. Next is Easy Scan. In just 6 minutes, Easy Scan combines 3 powerful features: inner voice, vitals, and comprehensive into one seamless experience. It delivers a unified frequency-based report that helps you explore and understand your current energetic state and how to support it through daily practices. Feeling unfocused or ungrounded? Try Quick Scan. It offers short wellness experiences throughout your day. Choose sessions like Supercharger, Relax, Grounding, or Focus. Each one is designed to support your mood and mindset. Last, but far from least, is AO MindSync. AO MindSync lets you record and customize powerful affirmations in your own voice. Combine tones, music, and emotional intent into a guided listening experience that helps reinforce your mindset and personal goals. All of these features, and many more, are designed to help you reconnect, realign, and restore balance to your biofield. As Albert Einstein said, "The future of medicine is frequency. That future is closer than you think. It's already in your hands." Welcome to Possibility. Welcome to AO Scan. Do you feel in tune with your body? Nearly 70% of Americans don't. They say the healthcare system isn't meeting their expectations. Why? Modern medicine often focuses on symptoms, while innovation is slowed by bureaucracy, outdated systems, and cost. Millions of people are looking for empowering solutions that align with the body, rather than override it to support a longer, more vibrant life. Powerful wellness tools are available to help, but few know they exist. They can accurately allow us to assess and understand our body. Your body is composed of trillions of vibrating cells constantly communicating via subtle frequencies.